Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is Wednesday, it's the 11th of March. This video is for educational purpose only. There's no recommendation or advice whatsoever intended. It's purely to demonstrate how I try to read the market using technical analysis and my many years of experience. Okay, let's have a look at Oracle that announced earnings after market yesterday. And apparently it was quite well received because the aftermarket trading took it back up to this dashed line here, 166.60 did it close in the aftermarket, and that will be interesting where it will open today and especially close today. Will it continue higher or will it be pushed back? It has formed this triangle-like pattern here over the past couple of months that now it seems to be breaking out of, and that could give some energy up to the level of around 180, 185 where we have some resistance. However, we do have the 55 moving average coming down here that will kind of putting a lid on it, so I think it will be struggling to get above that. Still, RSI is in a negative sentiment. There's actually no divergence that could indicate lower levels, so that will be really key to watch what will happen today in the next few days. Will it slide back here in this triangle-like pattern, or was this indeed a reversal? Weekly, we can see how much it has been suffering the past 6 months or so, 3-4 months. But it's found some support here above the 200 weekly moving average. The overall index and indices in US and Nasdaq 100, let's just zoom in a little bit. Here we can see the Nasdaq 100 basically didn't do much yesterday. Well, there was a bit of volatility in today, but didn't move, didn't end up anywhere. We are still in a bearish trend, despite the fact that we never closed below 24,500. That would be key, and especially these lows here. Then I think we could see some the weakness still in the market. So I don't think we are out of the woods yet in terms of uncertainty and in terms of bearish moves. But let's see here the next couple of days. We're still below the cloud, still below the 100 and the 55 moving averages. It will give it a hard time here. It needs to get back above at least 25,382. Pre-market, no change really, so that's the same picture there. We have S&P 500, slightly lower yesterday compared to the day before, but it got rejected there, the 100 moving average, daily moving average. I still believe we could see it sliding lower here in the coming days. It doesn't look too strong, and we are in a confirmed bearish trend that could take us lower. So brace yourself and be careful out there. There's no signs that it will turn into a bullish trend anytime soon. Pre-market basically unchanged here with the on the future. The Dow Jones future also unchanged, and a lot of volatility intraday yesterday, but didn't really move anywhere. So we're still in a bearish trend, but that spike down there was a quite strong bounce. But we still have negative sentiment, and if it starts crawling back here, then well, we could see it lower towards 46, 45,000. The small caps tried to get back above resistance there, 258, but couldn't do that, so it failed and slided back and still a bit depressed really. In Asia, the Hang Seng index basically closed unchanged, very little gain there in this bouncing mode there, and if it slides back and takes out 25,554, the support level here, and back below the 200, then selling pressure could push it lower, also below 25,000. So that will be key to watch here next few days, if it will do that or not. The Nikkei, same picture really, but a little bit different because we are actually above the cloud. We are above the 55 and the 100 moving average. Positive sentiment on the RSI could indicate we could see it pushing higher, but for now it is still a little bit depressed here. If it moves back above 56,635, well, then I think we will resume uptrends. Eurostoxx 50 strong bounce yesterday. 2.7% back in the cloud, but still negative sentiment, still bearish. And here pre-market, we can see that it has set back somewhat. And I think we'll do that unless it can get back. That will be key to get back above the cloud and back above 55 moving average. 5,940 area, really strong resistance there. We have the DAX index that also bounced strongly yesterday, 2.4% around this pivot here at 23,884. And pre-market, we are sitting back a little bit. You can see strong resistance there at 24,200 on the Germany 40/future. So we could, and I think we will slide back here in the coming days. Again, weakness coming in from the US. On the FX market, that's been fairly quiet lately. The euro dollar basically trading sideways. Slightly not bullish undertone, trying to get higher up here, and we could see a move to 117, but I'm not quite sure. But we could see that if it really gets its mojo back, well, 117.60 could be in the card. The sterling dollar testing the upper falling trend line. Could push up to 135 area, the 786 retracement, but then we have the 55 moving average giving it a hard time there. It could be setting back, but if it moves back above that, well, then we are certainly looking at 136 level. The euro sterling, well, it's a little bit of a messy picture, really. This falling line here, well, it's being tested from the other side, the falling trend line after the breakout. So will it turn around and push higher? For now, there's no indication of that, but what we can say, 86 is the key support to what's there, really. So let's see if we can, if it will break back below that. We have the 55 coming down, but then we have the 200 coming up. So we could still, it's a battle between the medium term and longer term trends with the 100 up here. So kind of locked in. So really hard to read euro sterling at the moment. Yen pairs, dollar yen, not much to say. It is in a bullish trend, positive sentiment, indicating likely higher levels, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it setting back to around 156.35 support there before the next move higher. Euro yen, still locked in here between 182 and 184.75. That is key, the range to look out for. We have the Aussie yen that is now in uncharted territory. I don't have data further back than to the mid 90s, so that's where we haven't been since then, at least, and maybe even longer if ever. But you will see here on the weekly moving averages all rising, the 100, the 55, and it's give it a couple of weeks, then it's broken above the 100 there, 200 also, but we are quite far away from it. But as we can see, we are actually pushing higher, and I think we'll see pushing higher here in the coming days and weeks still. I do expect some setbacks, but the trend is intact. The sterling yen. Well, sterling yen is above the cloud currently. We need the RSI to get back above 60 threshold to further confirm the bullish trend. I think we will see that eventually, but we could see it sliding back maybe a little bit here today, and then the next move higher, and then we could see it towards 215. Aussie dollar, well, really on the move. That's really what's also moving the Aussie yen. So Aussie dollar pushing towards 72. I think it could be reached here possibly today, and the move is strong. We are RSI back above a 60 threshold. We have it's still below these levels here though, so we have a little bit of divergence, but trust the trend, and I think we will see it pushing higher. Could also take up 72 towards 72.80. Dollar Canada, well, I still believe we will see it sliding back the next couple of days and also take out that little spike down there, I think we'll see it down below 135 in this region, 134.20 possibly. All moving averages declining, and 100, give it a couple of days more, then we are moving back below the 200 level. The sterling Canada, well, a bit of a bounce there really, but still hasn't moved anywhere. However, what I will do, let me just draw this just to a market. So if it takes out the spike up there from yesterday, well, then I think we could see a push up in the region around 184.40 possibly, but then there will be strong overhead resistance with all the moving averages coming down, still negative sentiment on the RSI. But it's not unlikely we'll see a push up to this region around 184, 184.40, 50 level. Euro Swiss, still in a bearish trend, no divergence. You see RSI values declining, so we could see another push lower, maybe below 89.50. Still a chance of a bullish correction there, but I'm not quite sure it will play out, and this one will not be that big really. Dollar Swiss, well, it did test the minor support there at 77.50 yesterday. But it really didn't get into it, but I think it will slide back here towards 77 within the next couple of days, and then we have the key support there at 76.50. The dollar index, well, the dollar index is slowly, well, not slowly, it's just caught here, range bound really, elevated states, but it failed several times, several occasions to close above 99.31, which is key, that should have done that. Support there at 98. The gold, well, gold has is trying to push higher, and it did spike above the 5,208 support, but it failed to close above. But I think it will crawl higher here in the coming days, but it's not that convincing, to be honest. And I would be cautious, it could slide back a little bit there. And if I just want to point your attention again, I've done it a couple of times on the 1 hour chart or the 60-minute chart. Well, you can see how well it got a back above this 5,205.67 level there. It is in a bullish trend, but it's fragile with a lower low there than here. So be careful out there. We could see what happens here the next the next 24 hours on gold. Silver is also trying to push higher, testing the 61.8 retracement at 89.37. Should also crawl higher. Still positive sentiment on the RSI. But also here, if we're looking at the intraday chart, we can really see what's going on. Here it's again the 60 minutes chart, and you can see, well, we have some triple peaks there, but slightly declining. So we are in a corrective phase, very short term, that it needs to break out of for direction. I think it will be to the other side, but we need confirmation on that. Platinum, more or less the same picture, but a bit negative that it still failed to get back above 55 moving average. So it is still in a little bit of depressed state, despite the fact it is showing positive sentiment and should crawl higher. And I think if gold and silver is pushing higher, then it will follow. Copper, well, same picture, above 55 moving average, big range here between 562 and 614. So let's have a look at crude oil. That has really been volatile here lately. So if it takes out the peak there at 91.55, that will be key. If it takes out that massive volatility there, then I think we'll see it pushing back towards 100 and higher. But if it's sliding back and taking out the lows there from yesterday, I think that will be the key, the low and high from yesterday. and here's the low 76.73. Well, then it can collapse even further. But for now, it is in a little bit of range position. Also, if you're looking here on this on intraday, very short term, you can see how it has actually established a bearish trend: lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And what will it do now? Bouncing back, try to get up there, or will it slide further back? Negative sentiment on the other side, so key to watch here the next few days. I still think we could see it pushing higher, but let's see. We need confirmation there, so I would be in a wait and see position at the moment. Brent crude oil, basically the same picture really. So also yesterday's high and low, that will be decided. So you can see it drop back to test the 81.40. European NatGas sliding back further there. Yesterday hasn't opened just yet. We have 61.8 retracement there at just around a 45 and a half level, 45 here. We do have that. And I think we could see it sliding back further, testing the 43 support. If it takes out that, well, then we could see it back below 40 euros. The US NatGas, well, it's back to being boring again, and I think it will be that for quite some time. On the interest rates market, and the US 10-year Treasury yields set back to the 38.2 retracement there at 4.09. If it takes out the lows from yesterday, then expect a push down to 4.5, possibly all the way down to 4%. But I think actually we could see it being range bound here between 4.09 and 4.22.23 here the next for the foreseeable future. Moving on to the European yields, EU 10-year hasn't opened here this morning. It has opened, so setting back a little bit, but key support there 280. If it takes out that, well, then we could be looking at 275, so keep an eye on that. The UK 10 hasn't opened just yet, but setting back after spiking up to this region here around just below 480, and I think it will slide back, could slide back to 445. Japanese 10, well, basically it is in a bouncing mode, but it's not that convincing, so I think we'll see it range bounding here for the next few days. If it takes out the peak from there on the couple of days ago at what is it? It's around 223. Then I think it will resume uptrend. Bitcoin, really not much to say. Still 60,000. That is key support, and 1740 on the Ethereum. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day, and keep charting out there.